So here is the very first step of me being able to handle the boat completely by myself.
You put this boat in that slip yourself.
You're just boosting my confidence.
Oh.
I feel like we're back where we're supposed to be.
I know. Soon enough, this will be us on our own boat.
If you are new here, my name is Sierra. My husband, our dog, and I have been living on boats for the past 8 years. We've lived on 2 sailboats. We've lived on 2 trawlers. I'm going to do something this week that's going to make a lot of you be like, what? And this week I am taking sailing lessons. You're probably thinking, you just told me you lived on a sailboat for 4 years. You should know how to sail. You're right. And I do, but when we started this crazy life 8 years ago, that sailboat was my husband's, and mind you, he never took sailing lessons either. He kind of just learned on his own, and I kind of just followed his order, and that kind of played into how the dynamics on our boat for the remainder of those 8 years. However, because of that, and because I never learned from scratch, or because he was trying to teach me when stuff goes crazy and you're trying to learn and you're not completely understanding in the moment, stuff gets scary, we get frustrated with each other, and it's not a good dynamic.
Just clean it off.
This is my husband.
I've taught kiteboarding for a long time as well, and we had probably half our customers were female customers whose husbands or boyfriends kiteboarded. They've tried to learn from them, and then eventually they always come to us as a school or for this same exact reason. The dynamic of learning from your spouse, sometimes, a lot of times.
Billy, I don't need you saying that. I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Not that no people don't get along. It's just that it's a funny dynamic to learn, like a full-on complicated thing from.
You teaching with a student, like, you won't get frustrated with them, and the student won't get frustrated with you because they don't know you. They're not gonna like be rude to you, but like us, we're very comfortable with each other. So if he's telling me to do something and I'm like, it's not working, I'm gonna be nasty and tell him it's not working. I watch you teach students, and you always start with like the good you did first, but I know sometimes you'll forget that when you're teaching me.
Never.
So I have a feeling that this is the case with a lot of you guys. Like, if you're watching this, you probably have dreams of someday peacing out and living on a boat and sailing away with somebody you love, or finding somebody you love along the way. But either way, you should learn how to sail before you go, and you should both. You don't have to be on the same level, but at least a similar knowledge level, because it will make things less stressful in the long run. Like, if I had taken proper lessons before we left, like all those years ago, and we don't get in big fights, but like so much frustration and stress. It's also a safety thing. Like, if you guys were watching, I fell on Mountain Mist and I could have broken my hand. If that was Billy on a sailboat, he's like partially out of commission and I'm in charge. Or if he falls and hits his head, like, I could have broken my neck when I fell. If you know how to do everything, when a situation like that arises, it will be less stressful. So that's kind of my goal. I want to be able to dock the boat by myself. I want to be able to raise and lower and maneuver the boat by myself. I want to be able to change the sails if the wind changes directions in the middle of the night when Billy's sleeping, so he can get sleep.
And I have confidence that you already know how to do like all of that.
My issue is that I don't have the confidence.
And that confidence comes from just a deep understanding
what's going on.
Not just what exactly you're doing, but like everything else around you. And that deep understanding comes from
the basics of sailing.
The basics and practice.
I'm talking about practice.
So we have 2 requirements on this thing. Billy is here to film, to bring you guys along, to kind of share this experience with you and hopefully help somebody if you guys are in the same situation, or if you need some confidence building or something like that. But his job is to keep his mouth shut.
That's the last you'll hear from me.
He's super kind and loving. He could be like, oh, she knows that, or yeah, she can do that. And I'm like, no, I need to be able to tell him what I do and don't know, you know.
Not saying a word.
Wish us luck.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Well, I know you're looking around and you're wondering, is this your new boat? Unfortunately not, but it's coming soon. We are in the Keys with Sail Away Key West. They are a Seawind charter. We are on a brand spanking new, she's only been chartered once, 1260 Duet, and she is gorgeous. She's getting us super excited, and we have a sailing instructor coming with us the next 2 days. His name is Chris, and we're kind of doing a personalized sailing lessons. Sail Away Key West, they are now a ASA sailing certified schools. So if you're in the market for getting a ASA certification or a customized sailing course, make sure to check them out. I really wanted to do it on a boat super similar to what we are getting, and that's what I wanted. I want to be so comfortable on our boat that I can do anything. So yeah, thank you Sail Away Key West for making this happen. I'm super excited, and I just wanted to make this a reminder that it is never too late to learn. Like, we're about to set off on a big long journey once we get our boat, and I wanted to make sure I'm as comfortable as possible before we do that. But hey guys, I've been doing it for 8 years and it's not too late. So if you're in kind of the same situation, or if you're about to get into the same situation, get out there and learn. It's important. So here is the very first step of me being able to handle the boat completely by myself. Okay guys, we're gonna have Chris with us today. Here is Chris, and he's gonna be teaching me some things.
Do you mind telling us a little bit about your sailing and instructing experience? And
I was born in Durango, Colorado. And believe it or not, I learned to sail up on the New Mexico-Colorado border. My mom and dad had a little sunfish. And then when I was a kid, I moved to the Chesapeake. For a long time, I ran fishing charter boats. I made it on fishing charter boats, but I've always been a sailor at heart. I grew up racing Hobie cats. Started teaching sailing for a little school called Sail Solomon's in Solomons Island, Maryland.
And now you find yourself here in the Florida Keys.
Fell in love with this place. I probably won't leave. We'll see.
That's awesome.
360 hours on these, 36 hours on these engines, so they're brand new. So what we'll end up doing is we're going to drop the port engine in reverse and come back against this spring to kind of get the bow to come out. Thanks, Andrew. I'll call you when we're coming out. So at this point, I'm not even going to use the steering wheel. I'm going to just use differential power. You know, the design of these catamarans, the rudder is small. You need water going over top of them. So you get underneath of a knot or two, you just center the wheel and steer only with differential steering. Once I get it moving about this fast, you know, at this point we've got 2 knots of speed over ground, speed through the water. So we're going to go out of here and we're going to make a right. And as soon as we make the right, we're going to see the Atlantic Ocean. The lured boat has right of way. Windward lured. So if the wind is blowing from that direction, that's the windward boat. We're the lured boat. So the lured boat has right of way.
Okay.
I always like to get the main sheet out.
So this is the jib halyard, this is the jib sheet.
Right, so we will not open that today at all. Yep. So let's go ahead and just pull and see how the jib's coming out. Bring it back into neutral. Let's kill those noisemakers.
And we just press the power?
No, you always hit the stop first. Press and hold it till the RPM goes down. And now you press power. Good.
It is not possible to sail directly into the wind, so if you need to go in the direction the wind is coming from, you must zigzag, crossing the wind each time to make headway towards where you want to go. Tacking is simply the maneuver where the bow of the boat passes through the wind. What are my steps for that?
How far off the wind are you sailing right now? If you look at your wind instrument, the top right number in your wind instrument says 45 degrees.
Yeah.
That's 45 degrees apparent. When we tack, we're going to turn the boat through the wind and end up on 45 degrees on the other side.
Okay.
So how far are we going to tack? 45 to get straight into the wind, and then 45 more.
Okay.
So we're going to turn 90 degrees.
Okay.
So the way I do, and I still do this, is I'll hold my hand out and point 90 degrees off of the boat.
Okay,
so when I look, see that
white dome,
that white
thingy?
radar antenna? That's where you're going to end up pointing. So let's just go ahead and turn the boat and point there.
Do I have to do anything?
This is a self-tacking jib, So literally it should just, everything should just work.
So I don't have to do nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, do I have to tell everybody I'm tacking?
Yeah?
3, 2, 1, tacking.
It carries plenty of speed.
Three, two, one, tacking.
Now, did you look for a 90 before you did that?
No.
I'm going to look for a cloud, or I'm going to look for a landmark or a boat or something. You know, out here in the middle of the ocean, you don't have anything but a cloud to look for. And once I initiate my tack, I will not take my eye off of what I'm steering towards. So if I told you were going to tack, what's the first thing you're going to do? Look for 90, right? I see the beach over there. See the blimp up in the air?
Yeah, I got the blimp.
So that's a surveillance blimp that's tethered to the ground. Wind angles looks perfect.
Okay.
So now I'm going to look at the blimp, and I'm not going to take my eyes off of it until I'm there.
And I just want what to be ending when we're finishing the tack. I want that to be right in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, tacking.
Keep your eyes on the blimp.
Closer, get closer, get closer. Straighten out before it's right in front.
It's okay. So now look at your wind angle.
A jibe is the opposite of a tack. A jibe is a maneuver on a sailboat when the boat is turned away from the wind or downwind and continues to turn in the same direction until the wind is hitting the boat on the opposite side from when the turn began. A jibe can be very slow, controlled, and uneventful, or it can be fast, hectic, and even dangerous depending on the conditions and the captain's and crew's skills.
Now the mains look right here. Main catches, main comes over to the other side, boom. Right. So we've jibed now, so what I'll do now is I'll drop the traveler down, right back down this way.
Start.
I'm going to turn all the way into the wind.
What are we doing?
We're putting the sails down so we can go into a harbor and try to get really close to stuff and figure out how to get away from it.
Straight back. See how you're turning this way?
Yes.
So just forward in this one, just a touch. Just idle. I got plenty of room over there?
No, you got plenty now.
Just a touch of reverse
Getting
on
close
this one?
though.
A little more on the port though. A little more on the starboard, I mean. Just stop, out of gear. Port one in reverse. Just idle, idle reverse, and the starboard would an idle forward, and now neutral.
And that's
Stop
just
your turn with just a little bit of forward on the port.
okay.
Come look how close you are on that side.
Okay.
I mean, literally, you just like, you put this boat in that slip yourself.
You're just boosting my confidence.
No, where stuff gets tore up is when you come in and you grate up against the side of something. If you pull in here and you just stop this boat, you're not going to tear hardly anything up hitting sideways like this. But running into it that way or coming up against it and grating all the way up the side of it, that's where you end up in trouble.
Okay, day 1. Lessons down. We just got back to the dock. That was fun. I really liked it. I really liked practicing tacking and jiving. Just again and again and again, because those are things that make me so nervous. And there was one time on the course there where I accidentally jibed and I hit Billy's dad in the head with a boom, and that really scared me, and I've had a fear of it ever since. And on this boat, like, everything is so easy. Tacking, you just turn the wheel. Jibing, you just pull the traveler to the center and you just turn the wheel, and there's like no movement going on. And we also practice trimming the sails and keeping the telltales happy, and just repeating that in my head. You steer the boat away from the telltale that's dancing, because the telltale that's dancing means that no wind is getting to that part of the sail. So you got to turn that part of the sail more into the wind. And just, I've heard that said a million times, but until it like clicks in your head, it makes no sense to me. And I think today it finally clicked. And probably my favorite part of all was practicing pulling into an invisible slip. I know, just have to do it again and again and again and again. But Chris was awesome. The boat was awesome. Can't wait to have ours. Just confirmed every single reason why we wanted this boat. Billy, did you learn anything today?
I just learned a funny saying. Like I always know, like when a sail is luffing, like it's not good for the sail. The only things that'll kill a sail is like when it's luffing, and then when it's left out in the sun, UV damage. But he says every time the sail luffs, that's $1. That costs $1. So just having that saying in your head every time it luffs costs $1 is pretty funny. A good way to just remember, don't let the sails luff.
Yep, and he had some more really good sayings about remembering like who has the right of way. If you see a red light, the red's on the port. The port wine is red wine. Red means stop. If you see red, they have the right of way because you're seeing a stop sign. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I have it in my head. If you see the green light.
Now this is both if you're under power though. If you're under sail.
Yeah, no, that's if you're under power. If you see the green light, you have to go. If you're under sail, the person on the starboard tack has the right of way. However, I could never understand what it means to be on the starboard tack, but he helped me realize today that whatever side the wind is hitting first is the tack that you're on. So for us, we had a boat as an example, and I couldn't remember. He's like, okay, what side is the wind hitting your sail? It was hitting the sail first on the port side of the sail, so the inside of the sail.
Okay, yeah.
So we were not on a starboard tack, we were on a port tack, so that boat had the right of way. Yeah, I just made it sound really more complicated than it is, but it makes sense in my head, so I guess that's all that matters.
Do you feel like, after today, more confident in everything about handling the boat?
Yes, definitely. I think I gained a lot more confidence in the act of sailing, tacking, and jibing, which I really wanted. Tomorrow, I want to gain more of that in windier conditions, but also more confidence in the whole docking thing. Because today was pretty like moderate. It was like, wasn't nervous, nothing was making too much sounds or anything like that. There was no like too much pressure or tension on anything. But tomorrow I think is supposed to be really windy. So just knowing that, maybe we'll reef tomorrow. I don't know how windy it's supposed to be, but just practicing in windier, which for me is more stressful conditions. Whew, okay. Break until tomorrow.
All right, day 2. How'd Sierra do yesterday?
Oh, it was awesome. We had a good day. Sierra can already sail, and all we're really doing here is just fine tuning.
Because you should set up a course, like a 7-day course where there's so much more like weather.
That's not too terrible.
A little sportier today, huh?
Am I excited, scared, or nervous?
Or all the above.
All of the above. But it's so nice to be on a boat in the sun with blue waters surrounding us.
Straight up. You don't want to use the electric? That's worth it. You know what we could do? Man overboard. Should he fall over, and should you desire to go back and get him?
Or we could just use a buoy. I won't make you guys sit in the
Well,
water.
I mean, yeah, well, absolutely. But
No.
if you don't want to go back and get him, I do marital counseling on the side. So you can, the method that I teach and I prefer is what's called a figure 8. So the way you do this is no matter what point of sail you're on, someone falls overboard. The first couple of things you do are need to be automatic. You need to throw stuff that floats. You need to yell man overboard. That way if you've got additional crew on the boat, they know what's going on. If you've got an extra body on the boat, you appoint them as the spotter.
In case of a man overboard scenario, we need to be able to get the person in the water back on the boat. This is Chris's figure 8 technique for rescuing a man overboard. Step 1. As soon as a man overboard is recognized, "Man overboard" should be yelled loudly while pointing at the person in the water to make others on board aware of what happened and to get as many eyes on the person in the water as possible. Step 2. As quickly as possible, something that the person can float on should be thrown in the water. Ideally, this is a throwable device such as a ring buoy or throw cushion.
Oh crap, Billy's overboard.
Step 3. Put the boat on the beam reach heading and sail a few more boat lengths. Step 4. Tack and head back towards the man overboard. Step 5. Approach slightly downwind of the man overboard, and as soon as you get close, turn up to a close reach. Step 6. Luff into the wind just as you are approaching the man overboard, timing it so boat speed slows to a stall right as the man overboard is within reach of the beam or the stern of the boat. Step 7. Help the man overboard back on board.
Got him.
You have lived to survive another minute. Wow. Okay. Well, you just did that absolutely
I'm sorry.
perfectly.
I don't know about that.
You didn't hit him, and I was able to grab him.
What you have just witnessed is the true fact that every once in a while anybody can get lucky. And you are a little low, so maybe come up just a little bit so you're on a good beam reach. That's probably far enough,
Okay.
4 or 5 boat lengths, so let's tack the boat.
Okay, so I'm coming back this way.
Right? Now, as soon as you get on the next beam reach, Billy's going to be right in front of you.
Okay, I see him.
So let your jib go a little bit, not just let it go completely. Go straight at him now, from right there straight, turn left just a little bit. Oops, we missed him, so what do we do?
We gotta do it again.
With another beam reach, you were close enough that we could have thrown a line or something.
I don't see him.
Hey, turn.
I'm gonna kill you.
I just hope we're in Key West when I fall overboard and not Maine. It's good practice, huh? Handling back and forth.
Now, as soon as you get on that second beam reach, you should be able to look at it and see him in front of you.
Did I hit him?
Nope.
Did I hit him?
You came very close, but you didn't.
I think you should be nice.
Start with the full.
Oh, that was wonderful. Okay, day 2 of sailing lessons done and dusted. Stress levels were high today. We were doing stuff that makes me uncomfortable, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. Chris was super awesome with like just staying calm and with practicing the man overboard drill. Didn't get it the first time. Okay, turn around, we're doing it again. Didn't get it the second time. Okay, try it again. We practiced reefing and sailing when it was a little bit windier than yesterday, and we practiced docking, which scares the crap out of me, but it was so good. He was so calm. We got so close to so many, not like dangerously close, but as close as we were supposed to get to like big fancy mega yachts, and this boat's brand new and it's somebody else's boat, so I want to make sure I take care of it. So it just made me nervous, but it was so good to do. I'll have to do it many more times before I'm comfortable, but just getting the initial do it myself out of the way. And I practiced a lot more today. Like there was more boats out on the water. Okay, this boat's going that way. I'm going this way. Who has the right of way? And Chris would quiz me on that, and that was awesome. That's exactly what I needed. Definitely got a little confidence boost in these past 2 days. If anybody is in the market for any sailing lessons, ASA course, customized course, on your boat course, on somebody else's boat, on a Seawind, not on a Seawind, check out Sail Away Key West, check out Captain Chris. Now we get a couple days to hang out on this boat ourselves. We're not gonna film much of it. We've been working really hard lately. Fixing up a boat, selling a boat, driving across the country, building a boat, racing a boat, and now sailing lessons. So we're gonna go have some fun. We'll show you little bits of little things I do myself to see how I'm doing. But do you think I could officially be the captain yet?
Yeah, you'll have to be the captain the next few days now.
Except getting in and out of this slip, because it's a sketchy slip.
What are you doing today?
Today, Chris is not with us. It's Billy and I am going to do everything by myself.
It's
Well-
the test day.
You're testing me?
No, it's your moment of truth. I'm not testing, you're testing yourself.
So I'm gonna raise the sails by myself, and I'm gonna get us on our course myself. I think I would like to anchor myself. I might need a second opinion on the best spot, so I might call you for backup. We're sailing. Not sure if we're going in the right direction, but we're going in a direction. Since we're going downwind, I want as much sail area to be filled by the wind as possible, so I'm letting my traveler out as much as it can go.
I must say, I am really enjoying Sierra being captain.
He's drinking a beer at 11:30 a.m.
Is it 11:30? I almost never drink beers during the day, but I'm on vacation now. Besides filming, I still have to film. Sierra's captain, she's in charge, she's got the responsibility, and now I'm on vacation. Are you stressed? Because I am relaxed.
Mildly. Just because I know if anything happens, it's because I wasn't paying attention.
Well, you're doing a great job. We're just going on a broad reach and like 10, 12 knots of wind, so we're going kind of slow, kind of choppy leftover waves out here, so we're moving around a bit. Sierra's very concerned about the boat beating us, the sailboat beating us, but we don't have a screecher, which we would certainly be flying a screecher right now if this was our boat, but I don't think they let charter boats have screechers or spinnakers. I understand why.
I feel like we're back where we're supposed to be.
I know. We are. This is our element. Soon enough, this will be us on our own boat.
And the engines are... We made it.